Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a mid-year check-in on the 22 makeup products I wanted to use up or pan in 2022. Now I intended for this to be a quarterly update, not a proper project pan, but these products can be seen in other project pans throughout the year, and I just kind of wanted to keep these to the forefront of my mind when rolling things into other projects, etc. I don't feel like I've done the best job at that, especially since I didn't do a quarterly update to bring them back to the forefront. So now I have my bin back together how it should have been all year, and I need to buckle up and focus on these more now that I only have 5 months left, because again, I haven't been filming and updating I haven't been doing YouTube very well this year, and I feel really bad about that. Also, if you'll notice, I'm filming a ton of videos right now. I don't have time to change my outfit or my makeup or anything like that. You'll notice it especially if you watch both of my channels, because I've been filming content for both channels tonight. But my husband is watching the children and gave me the time to film for the first time in weeks. We've been very busy, lots going on, so I'm taking the opportunity to film a couple of videos. So sorry if that bothers you. Not sure why it would really, but I look the same in my next couple, in the past videos that you have watched. Like I said, these are 22 products I wanted to be using up. I haven't done the best job at this, and I'm going to have to do better and focus in a little bit more if I want to make some more progress before the end of the year. We're going to do this relatively fast. I had 4 palettes, eyeshadow palettes included, that I wanted to make some progress on. The first were my 2 oldest palettes in my collection, and that's these OG Wet n Wild palettes. I have the Walking on Eggshells Trio and the Comfort Zone 8 pan. Now these have been my focus palettes in my Pan Those eyeshadows all year long, so these have been getting a lot of use from me. I'm not sure the exact number of usage, but neither of them had pan at the beginning of the year. Walking on Eggshell now has 2 pans in the Brow Bone shade and the Eyelid shade, which is great. I'd love to hit pan on the crease shade before the end of the year and at least have pan in all 3 shades, and then maybe I can focus on finishing this another time. Comfort Zone is proving to be a little bit more challenging for me. I did hit pan on this, ouch, this green eyelid shade over here in Pan Those eyeshadows, a pretty decent pan as you can see. But I've been working on this bronze crease shade for a while. I do have a dip starting in there, but it's not going fast like the green one did. So I'm not sure how many pans I will have in this by the end of the year, but I am using it on a semi-consistent basis. The next eyeshadow palette I shared was that scared me, my Too Faced chocolate bar. This is the first high-end palette I ever purchased for myself. It still smells like chocolate. It's still working great. I will admit, until I remembered I needed to film this, I had been neglecting this palette. However, for the last week and a half or so, I have been using it. I've been using white chocolate to set my eyeshadow primer and a mix of milk chocolate and triple fudge in my eyebrows each day. So I'm still not using a ton of this palette. I have used some of the other mattes especially, but again, I would like some pans showing in this by the end of the year, and I really don't feel like I'm that close on any of them. The fourth and final palette I had mentioned in the 22 makeup products I wanted to pan was Modern Renaissance. I am pleased to say that I have now used this palette over 100 times, which feels really good. I would like to hit maybe 2 more pans in this by the end of the year. I have 3 pans in here already. I have pan in Tempera, Burnt Orange, and Cypress Umber, and I have expanded those pans this year. But I would like to hit pan in Golden Ochre and Bon Fresco as well. But I don't know, too many eyeshadows, too little time. I I'm not a pan that palette kind of gal, but I did want to focus on these more than I have been. So let me know your ideas on how I could better do that. Maybe for pan those eyeshadows, instead of randomizing a shade just from the Wet n Wild ones, I can randomize a shade from between the 4 of them. I don't know. I don't know what the solution to my dilemma is. I feel like I've been doing better on the base products. So I have my Hourglass Mineral Veil. This is the baby size. I was at the top and now I am down to about here below this red line. This is currently in my Graveyard Project pan and I am making progress on it. So I am on track to have this finished by the end of the year. The First Aid Beauty Coconut Skin Smoothie Priming Moisturizer. That is a mouthful. I did use up this primer. It was another mini. I was trying to focus on my mini primers and get them out this year, but unfortunately I think I threw away my makeup empties for my Q1 empties video and I feel so bad about it, but I can't find them anywhere. So I always save my makeup empty for the end of the year and I feel so stupid that I'm pretty sure I threw them out. So I don't even have it to share with you in this update. The Too Faced Peach Perfect Foundation. I don't think I've used this at all. This is my oldest foundation in my collection. I have the shade Porcelain, which actually might be fine for me right now. I don't even know if this is still good. If it is, I would like to get it out this year, but I don't know if that's going to be possible. This is a huge foundation with almost 50 mils of product or 1.6 fluid ounces. And I remember really enjoying this at the time. But the color is usually not right for me unless I'm fake tanning, and I've only really gotten into the routine of fake tanning in the last year or so. Saying that, I don't have any fake tan on right now, but I don't know what I'm going to do about this one. The second foundation I mentioned is the ColourPop No Filter Foundation, which I am so close to being done with. I've done a really good job on this one. I was above the halfway point at the beginning of the year, and now I'm having to dump it onto the back of my hand because the pump no longer reaches down far enough, and I will be so happy to have this out. This is my second oldest foundation. These two are my oldest foundations in my collection, and I decided to start on this one first because one, it's smaller. This whole thing was 25 mils or 0.85 fluid ounces, so literally half the size of this one, and this matches me better for most of the year versus this one. So I also had my e.l.f. HD loose powder. I have successfully finished this. This is actually 2 products in one. My MAC Pro Longwear Concealer. I am so close to finishing this. It keeps sucking up air. I hope to get more out of here, but I am like scraping the bottom of the barrel with this guy, and this will for sure be done by the end of the year as well. Let's hop into the lip products next because I can't even find them. I only have 2 that I included because I really struggle with finishing lip products, and they're both lipsticks. The first of which was the Tarte Beach Babe mini lipstick, and I have successfully finished this year. And then the Rimmel Kate Moss lipstick in the shade 8. This is my oldest lipstick in my collection, and it's been in many project pans, but I don't think I've used this yet this year. I do think I can use this as a cream blush as we come into the fall months because it's this mauve-y tone, but I will have to remember to put this in a project. It still smells fine, but it's starting to look a little melted, but that might just be because it's summer. I'm not sure. But it is very old, and I do feel like if this isn't gone by the end of the year, I should throw it away because it's the oldest. It's like 7 years old and used relatively consistently, but spaced across the 7 years. So I feel like I don't even want to think about the bacteria that must be on this lipstick. Okay, now I have a lot of cheek products to share with you. I was feeling real ambitious, let me tell you. First, I put in my Too Faced Cocoa Contour Palette. This is the oldest face palette, and I would like to have 2 pans in this by the end of the year. I do not like the shade Pop of Light, so I thought I could hit shade in Light Cocoa and then one of the 2, it's like a contour and a bronzer. but I have not used this yet this year. I was feeling real ballsy after hitting pan in my first blush last year in 2021 that I put in 2 blushes into this for 2022. Again, this isn't a proper project pan, but just like products to kind of be my focus, which hasn't worked. First, I have this Revlon Oh Baby Pink blush. I have quite the dip in here because I worked on it a lot in 2020, I believe. And I think with some dedication I could finally hit pan on this. It's a basic, neutral, semi-glowy pink blush. It is really beautiful, also very old. And then I also put in my Tarte Party Blush. I've used this a lot over the years since I got it in the Sephora birthday gift. And I've seen so many of my friends pan this, either hit pan or use it up completely. And I feel like I could do that too if I tried really hard, but I've used this a lot and the imprint looks exactly the same. So I don't know. And again, I haven't been focusing on it, so I'm expecting miracles. Apparently, I'm hoping a pan will appear in a blush that I'm not even reaching for every single day. I have 2 Becca highlighters. The first is my Liquid Opal, which is currently in Deck of Panning. I'm using this very consistently. I only have a little bit left, but a little goes a long way with these liquid highlighters, and I think this is going to be kicking around for quite a long time still. Now that it's summer, I should remember to maybe put a little bit on my chest or my shoulders or something like that, but to be honest, I never do remember to use this, but I have used it a ton this year, so I'm at least using it. I also have in Champagne Pop from Becca. I hope to hit pan on this year. I do have a really big dip happening in here, and I have successfully used this over 100 times now. This is one of my favorite highlighters in my collection, and I feel like pan must not be too far away, so I definitely should put this in a project very soon. I have my ColourPop Super Shock highlight in the shade Smoke and Whistles. This is a great shade for me when I'm fair. This is one of my other favorite highlighters in my collection. Probably this with Champagne Pop are my top 2. Do I want to confirm, like say that for sure? I don't know. But I would like to hit pan in this year. I do have quite a dip happening in here. I've used it a lot, but now that I'm tan, this is very frosty, but it is one of my very favorite highlighters. I love this highlight formula so much. Next, I have 3 bronzers. I'm going to share these super fast because my battery is flashing with me. First, I have this very pricey item for someone who doesn't contour very well or very much. The Kevyn Aucoin Contour Palette Powder. I hope to hit pan in this. I watched Steph pan this with relative ease. I've used mine over 80 times and have barely a dip in it. There's a mini dip, but like nothing to write home about. I need to learn how to contour my face shape better. When I follow others' tutorials, where they're contouring like in here, I already have very prominent cheekbones and I almost end up looking a bit skeletal. I need to learn how to contour in a way that looks nice both in person and on camera, like my big 5 head here. I do like contouring my jawline because I am experiencing some sagging there with aging, but I'm just not reaching for this, and I don't think I'm going to hit pan in it by the end of the year. I have in NARS Laguna. I did have to repress this into this compact here, and I was using it pretty consistently the first half of the year. It did have a big pan in it. I hoped to finish this. I'm not sure if that's going to happen. And then the product I was most excited to share with you, a spoiler for my Graveyard Project pan, my Tarte Park Avenue Princess Bronzer. I hit pan on today. I have seen the rings in this for the last 20 plus uses. Every single day I'm inspecting this for pan, and today it finally happened. It's not a very big pan. I'll probably use this a couple more times because I can see 2 full rings with like underneath this product. So I think with like less than 5 uses, I will be able to have a very decent pan showing here, and that will feel so good. My goal was to just hit pan on this. I don't think I could finish it. Wow, this filming session has taken way too long. I had to wrestle the battery out of my camera a couple of times. I'm ready to be done. I haven't made the progress here that I wished to. How many things have I met my goal on? I have hit 2 pans in the walking on eggshells, so I'll call that like my goal met. I wanted a couple of pans in each of these palettes. I have finished the First Aid Beauty Coconut Skin Smoothie Priming Moisturizer. I will call that done. e.l.f. powder is done. I hit pan in the Tarte bronzer, and I finished the Tarte Beach Babe lipstick. So I've only met my goal on 5 of the 22 items so far, halfway through the year. Less than 25%. That is not good. But things that are close to having goals met: the Hourglass Veil Primer, the ColourPop Foundation, the MAC Concealer, the Becca Liquid Highlighter, Becca Champagne Pop. So 5 things are close to their goals met. Let me know in the comments down below how you are doing on any year-long projects like this that you have put together. Which products do you think I should really focus in? And when I say focus, I mean like try really hard to fit into like deck of panning prompts, or toss into graveyard project pan now with the next update, because I will have, you know, space to add in products, that sort of thing, or maybe pull them in to shop my stash. I don't know. I don't know how I need to focus on these because I lack project panning strategy, as I'm sure you have gathered. If you did enjoy today's video and didn't mind that I am looking the same in many of my recent videos, give this a thumbs up so that I know, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!